member we have is without a doubt the most handsome member of TBD we've had this year. Some say he's a man without a plan. Some say he's a man who fled the country in order to evade taxes. All we know for sure is that his name is Charlie Boevers!
How are we doing tonight, folks? For those of you who don't know me, I spent this past spring semester at Oklahoma State University. For those of you who don't know me like on a personal level, it's because I got deep southern roots down there. And before you get nervous, my family emigrated from Germany after slavery and before the Third Reich took over. So they weren't singing Dixie or Goose Stepping, but they sure as shit were still probably racist. But yeah, no, I was on the National Exchange Program with all the other actual foreign exchange students. And I think I now have my new least favorite people, British men. That was the majority of the people, the foreign exchange students. And from Thursday to Sunday, they were just in a constant drunken stupor. You'd be asleep at 2 in the morning, they'd come in, start kicking in doors, knocking on walls. The worst. But it's like noon for them, so I guess I'll give it to them. The worst one, though, was it was 3 in the morning, and they kicked a soccer ball into the fire alarm and set it off, which is the most European thing you could do. It's quite a rude wake-up call when the fire alarm starts screaming, "Go!" There was one other student in the National Exchange Program, and he was a character. He was pretty socially awkward, and that's coming from me, so you know it's bad. And there was one day where it was me, him, a British guy, because of course, and this Scottish chick he'd been talking to and trying to, crush on and stuff. We were sitting in our common area, just, having a good time, telling stories, and he had this genius idea to tell us the story of how he had sexual relations with a fruit. Not like in a Freddie Mercury kind of way, but like with produce. Specifically an apple, which that doesn't make sense to me, because there's probably easier fruits to have sex with. Like a melon. A melon makes sense. There's surface area, there's depth. Because like an apple's like hard on the outside and the inside, and maybe like an inch of soft stuff in between, which raises more questions I don't want answered. Maybe like pineapples. Pineapples would be uncomfortable. Grapes would be difficult. Grapefruit, that'd be another one. Oh, wait, no, that's a thing. But yeah, no. Anyway, I hear the story. Later on, I'm at a country bar. I've been drinking. I've been dancing with a girl. And I tell her the story, because it's a funny story. And, night ends. I think nothing of it. Later on that next week, I'm in the Union. I'm enjoying my lunch, minding my own business. He comes over, sits down in front of me, and is like, "Hey man, I heard you told someone that story. I can't have you telling people that story. Like, I'm going to be a news reporter. I can't be getting canceled." So I assured him I'm not going to tell a living soul. And I got to remind you that he did this to try and impress a woman. But then again, I don't know what you do to impress a woman. I walked into Oklahoma single and walked out single, so do the math there. But no, there was a girl I was crushing on in Oklahoma. We had 2 classes together, which is good for me. We had an art class and an entomology class, which is the study of bugs. Exhilarating stuff. And I was trying to work my, dorky white guy magic. So I helped her cheat on her tests. So I know my entomology and my way around Adigagus. That's for the entomology people in the room. There one problem though. She had a boyfriend. For most of the semester though. So that put some that put a twig in the gears, if you will. I didn't know at first, because when you're kind of a socially awkward white guy, you don't know how to like phrase that question. Like you got to be like play coy and be like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? Maybe. But yeah, no. But she showed up to class one day with a massive hickey on her neck, and I was like, oh yeah, that'll do her. They broke up though towards the end of the semester, which was good for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be gone in a month. I'll shoot my shot and see what happens. Shot my shot, got shot down, packed up, left town. And I told my sister this story, once I got home to Minnesota. And she was like, well, did you ask her out at least? I was like, well, no. And then it hit me that I've been doing it wrong this whole time. I just tell girls I like them, like a child would, and then just make it awkward. So yeah. The last story I'll tell you about here is a guy named Dave. Dave is one of those campus convert, like Bible thumper type of guys. The guy with the sign and all the things you can't do to get into heaven, that kind of thing. So he's like, he'll just be in the union, spouting his shit. And see, I was raised Methodist, so like I believe in like the healthy living and the living for the community. Doesn't matter what you are or what you do, as long as you're a good person, that kind of thing. So that shit's, I don't like that. So he's just there like, God hates alcoholics. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's self-destructive, you hurt those around you. God hates drug abusers. Yeah, that makes sense. Same kind of thing. God hates homosexuals. Ooh. I don't like that one. God hates masturbators. Okay, no, time out. It had me in the first sentence, I'm out, man. But one day I was watching him spout his shit, and then out of the crowd came a guy in one of those leather fetish dog masks. Got down on all fours, started like working his stuff like it's the dog show. And I have never seen like all like hope for humanity leave a person's face quicker than that. Because like imagine you're this guy. You grew up in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. You grew up in this house on this side of the street. You went to church here, and you also went to school in the church. And that was your life for the first 30 years of your life. You get your, I don't know, reverend degree, I don't know what it's called, and you decide to go yell at gay people on campuses for a living. I don't know. The only thing he could say when he saw the dog man was, have you gotten your shots at least? Which I guess credit him. No credit him, he was an asshole. But no, all in all, it was a very fun experience, I'm 3 generations removed from what you'd call that traditional Southern thinking, and here I am having this multicultural international experience, and like my forefathers before me, hating British people. That's my time, thank you.